Hey everybody, Theresa here, and welcome back to my December daily album from 2019. This is part of Scrappy Christmas in July, which is created by Tracy Fox and primarily runs on Instagram. You can follow the hashtag Scrappy Christmas in July, and also be sure to follow Tracy, who is Scrappy Like a Fox. So I'm sharing with you today my layouts for day 13, 14, and 15. And so I have the back of a full page spread from day 12. If you're wondering, day 12 was part of the Click Kits classroom. I had done a kit and a class series for December pages with Click Kits back at the end of last year. So that's where day 12 is. And then here is day 13. And so I started this page with a template from Paisley Press. It's actually a 12 by 12 page. It's one of the pocket guides, number 1. And I'll have links for that in my blog post. I actually only used a couple of spots from that 12 by 12 template, and I just chose the 2 3x4s and the 4x6 to create this 6x8 page. And so I added my photos in Photoshop and added my journaling, and then I left some space here for embellishments. Basically, that was all that needed to be added once it was printed out and cut down to the size for my pocket. So I'm going to add my number here. I'm using the gold 13 from Felicity Jane. I also added to the first photo, I added a word strip and a little stitched star from Allie Edwards. And then I'm also adding a little green word strip to the bottom photo. Our story for that day was about our yearly tradition of decorating cookies, and I just took a few photos from around the table, and I really liked the flexibility of adding a couple of photos from that event and then being able to journal directly on the layout itself and then print it all out. And it makes for such a quick and easy completed page. That's one thing I love about and why I'm such a fan of doing foundation pages, because once your foundation pages are done, then completing the pages it goes pretty quickly. These 3 days in all took me about 20 to 25 minutes for the process here. So moving on to day 14 now, and I have 2 3x4 pockets and a 4x6 pocket, and this is actually these 2 days probably are a little bit mixed up, but it doesn't really matter. When we were pulling out all the little baking supplies and things like that, the little heart cookie cutter came out, and so I thought that it would be fun to play around with photo effects from that. And what I was trying to do was trying to get the camera to focus on the heart and then sort of blur out myself and Alan in the background. I think I needed someone actually working the camera in order to make that work, because we were trying to do it in selfie mode, and it's a little more complicated to try to set up the camera and get it so that it focuses on the heart. I also think that I was trying to take that picture with the iPhone 8, And I don't think that the iPhone 8 quite has that capability, not as well as the 11 would. So just a little technical note about the photo, but it's still a cute photo. Even though it didn't come out like I had imagined in my head, I still wanted to be sure and put it in the album here. And so I chose 2 Paisley Press cards, the little red Mary card. I thought about adding something to it, but in the end, I left it just the way it is. And then for my number, I used a little round 14 from Felicity Jane from probably 2 years ago now, and a little tiny heart enamel dot. And then I wrote a little bit about sharing this year with Alan, and then you can also see the little wooden silver tree that I added at the bottom, and those are from Allie Edwards as well from last year, I believe. And that, even though I went looking for a couple more embellishments just to see if I wanted to add anything else, I ended up leaving it just like this, and I think it looks really cute. And so I'm going to move to the back of that page protector, which will then be day 15. And so 15 and 16 are actually one story again. And notice how I've used 2 days twice now to sort of tell the same story, or I've used photos from the same story, but you might not really know it. And that's another way to sort of stretch the photos that you had. Remember how I said that I was sick through the month of December, and I was still sort of not at my best here. I don't think that I was contagious anymore. I was just still coughing. So we found out that there was an event going on in Atlanta, and it was sponsored by the Käthe Wohlfahrt stores that originated in Germany. And so I've probably, I know I've mentioned these stores before, and there was the one year in 2016 when Alan got to go to Germany for Christmas. If you've seen that December daily from me, then you know that he got to visit this store, the Christkindlmarkt. Well, this year they did a couple of street fests, and one of them was in Atlanta. And so we took off to Atlanta for the day that weekend, so that we could go and visit and do some shopping and have a great time. And I bought these bowls there, and so I just wanted to do a layout. Really, this was a way to get another photo in, full confession there. So what I did was I added 2 photos, again, from the Paisley Press collection last year. The one with the trees, isn't that beautiful? That's like my all-time favorite from last year's collection. And then I layered the 15, which is from Felicity Jane, on top of one of the black and white cards. And then I also added this little rubber piece on top of my photo. And I just did a still life of the bowls that I had purchased and a couple of little ornaments. And that completes the layouts. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the blog at larkindesigntm.com. I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.